When you start repeating this over and over, I don't have enough money, men just suck, America sucks, the government sucks, the world sucks. When you start repeating these things over and over, they start to have more and more power over you and they start to feel more and more permanent. So while you may not currently have enough money to do what you want in this very moment, that may be true, that doesn't necessarily mean that's gonna be true a year from now. It doesn't mean it's gonna be true a month from now. But what tends to happen is you keep repeating that story over and over and over again to a point where your subconscious mind starts actually believing that that's your reality. So you get stuck in that reality.
I'm in a robe. I was gonna change, but I really don't feel like it, y'all. I'm comfortable, so we're gonna go ahead and stick with this. I was journaling a little bit about limiting beliefs and just kind of like coming to some realizations for myself personally that I thought I would share with you guys. It can be very easy to get caught up in this trap of like believing things about yourself and then repeating those stories over and over again, and to a point where you're actually trapping yourself in a certain reality. And I talk about this quite a lot on my channel, you know, like we've been, especially in America, like we've been programmed to believe certain things about ourselves, about the world. You may have been programmed or just had beliefs passed down to you by your parents about yourself and the world that have caused you to, you know, live life in a certain way. And I think what tends to happen is oftentimes we may start becoming aware of what these limiting beliefs are, but then we give them more and more power by repeating them and believing them to have more power than they actually do over our lives. All limiting belief is a story that you subconsciously, but often also consciously repeat to yourself that is stopping you from living the reality that you want to be living. The reality that you desire, whatever limiting beliefs you have, we all have them to some extent. It's stopping you from living out the life that you want. Like I truly thought for the longest time that I could not be living this life. Like I could not be traveling the world, you know, making money from literally just doing what I love. Like I used to really think that I could not do that. I think I used to buy into this thing of like privileged white people with money can do stuff like this, but I can't. So, and if I were to do it, then, you know, that's not fair because other people can't do it. But really, truly, it was just these stories that I was telling myself that was stopping me from living the life that I wanted. You know, there probably is some tangible things, some tangible obstacles in your reality that are getting in the way of you living out that dream. Maybe you just don't have enough money right now. Maybe you have kids or you have people that you need to take care of. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that these things don't matter or that these things aren't valid, because some of these things may be very valid reasons why currently you can't do something. If you don't have enough money, you simply just can't go off and do whatever it is that you want. But what tends to keep people stuck in a certain reality is they start believing that the conditions of their environment are not changeable. So again, you feel like you don't have enough money, you feel like you don't have enough time, you feel like your environment is a certain way. So there's certain things that are holding you back from the reality that you want. But when you start repeating this over and over, I don't have enough money, men just suck, America sucks, the government sucks, the world sucks. When you start repeating these things over and over, they start to have more and more power over you and they start to feel more and more permanent. So while you may not currently have enough money to do what you want in this very moment, that may be true, that doesn't necessarily mean that's gonna be true a year from now. It doesn't mean it's gonna be true a month from now. That could look completely different in just a couple of months. But what tends to happen is you keep repeating that story over and over and over again to a point where your subconscious mind starts actually believing that that's your reality. So you get stuck in that reality. So it feels like, oh, nothing's gonna change. You know, I will never be rich. I will never be able to quit my job. I'll never be able to do this. So that starts to become the truth because you genuinely believe that to be true. I'm gonna give you like an example. When you keep saying, okay, men suck, men suck, men suck, you feel internally that men suck, so when you're actually interacting with men, you may not fully realize it or even mean to, but when you're interacting with men, you're giving them that energy of, well, like you're not gonna say it, but you're giving them the energy of, well, you're gonna disappoint me anyways. You're gonna break my heart anyways, or you're gonna make me feel like shit anyways. And so therefore, the men that you bring into your life are treating you poorly. And then you point to it and be like, see, I told you men suck. And so then it continues this pattern over and over and over again. But really, truly, all that's happening is you continue telling yourself the same story. And it's affecting, again, what you're manifesting into your life. While your outer world can affect your inner world, again, your subconscious mind, whatever it is that you want to call it, your energy, your vibration, actually has
the control over your physical reality. What you believe about yourself manifests into the real world. So a lot of people tend to ask me like, okay, what practice do you recommend for, getting rid of limiting beliefs, or how do you handle it? And there's a bunch of different things that you can do that can help you with this. Therapy is really great. Therapy is an amazing thing. Journaling is really, really great as well. Meditation, right? There's so many practices out there that can help you become aware of what your limiting beliefs are and where they come from. But really, truly, the best practice, and what you eventually are gonna have to learn how to do, is in everyday life, as again, you're speaking to other people, as you're speaking to yourself, making it a practice to start becoming aware of what words you are speaking, what thoughts you are thinking, and where limiting beliefs are taking place in those conversations. When you're thinking about your dream life and what you want out of it, whenever that but comes up, but I can't do this because of this, whenever that comes up, pay attention to that. Make it a practice that you stop yourself in that moment and reverse that thought, or stop that pattern of thinking from occurring. This is especially true when it comes to mental health. Mental health issues are very, very real. I'm not gonna discount that at all. But one thing that we tend to do in America a lot, we start saying, oh, okay, well, I have anxiety, or I'm depressed. You've learned maybe in therapy that you've experienced anxiety, or that you've experienced depression, which most of us have. But what happens is we keep repeating to ourselves over and over again, and we keep saying it to other people that, I'm anxious, I'm depressed, I'm someone with anxiety, I'm someone with this, I am this, I am this. We start attaching these things to our identity to a point where they become what we actually believe about ourselves. And again, we start manifesting that feeling in our everyday life. We think that something is wrong with us, so something appears to be wrong with us. So, with limiting beliefs, it's not just about, manifesting things, getting things that you want out of life. It's about how you feel about yourself. As long as you continue believing that something is wrong with you, there's going to be something wrong with you. And so I'm not discounting whatever it is that you've been through in your past, whatever trauma you've experienced. And I'm not saying whatever physical limitations you're experiencing in your life right now are not real, but I really, really, really encourage you to remember that you have power, you have control. When you continue buying into this belief that you are powerless, that you are hopeless, that you don't have control over your reality, that's how you lose. The people who have control and who have power that we're upset about, they want us to feel powerless. They want us to feel hopeless. The people who have hurt you in your past, that have maliciously done things to upset you and hurt you, they want you to continue feeling like you don't have control. Again, I don't know what you've been through, but I'm telling you that in this present moment, you have the power to reverse those stories, to say, actually, I am wealthy. Actually, I can have whatever I want. You can have anything in the world that you want. I literally tell myself that all the time. Like I say it now without even thinking about it, like in my mind, because I would find that, I would start to have like certain thoughts, or, again, limiting stories or whatever that I'd be running with in my mind. And then I started getting to a point where I'd just be like, you can have whatever it is that you want. You can have anything in the world that you want. And then what starts to happen is, as you start telling yourself these things, as you start repeating these affirmations back to yourself again and again, your reality again starts to reflect that, because you start believing these things about yourself. You can have whatever you want. I can have whatever I want. I can be wealthy. I can live this life. I can be happy. I love the universe guru, Mina. She says this a lot. She says it gets to be easy. Because it does. I know it does take time. It's a process. It's a journey for a reason. But just remember that it doesn't need to be hard. Life does not need to be hard. As you start repeating positive stories back to yourself, you start seeing things in your everyday life that align to that belief. And then you start getting in this state of gratitude for everything around you. You start noticing things. You start becoming more grateful for things more often, and then life starts becoming more positive. I really just encourage you to start trying it. Start saying these things to yourself as you're walking down the street, as you're in any given moment when you can. Life gets to be easy. I get to have whatever I want. And then you start literally seeing that happen. You start seeing it manifest. Even if you don't have everything in the world that you could want in this given moment, life is pretty beautiful. It's pretty amazing when you stop and really notice it. And so start taking time to notice that. Start making it a practice. When you find yourself going down that train of negative thoughts, just stop yourself. And it becomes easier and easier the more you do it. Just start treating it like a game. Start laughing at it. When things go wrong, just laugh. Find gratitude again, and just remember that you can have whatever it is that you want in this world. right? You deserve it. You deserve to be happy, and you can do it. I promise you, you can. So yeah, I love you guys so much. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below how you're doing. How's your week going? And yeah, I hope you're doing well. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.